We all have the ability to start a crowdfunding campaign. The ability to make a video and sell our brilliant new idea to the world. And although sometimes this works out pretty great, other times, not so much. And although in our last episode we only briefly touched on video games and instead focused on everything that was basically, well, weird, today I want to make a one-off INDIEGOGO special looking at the absolute shitstorm that is Starforge. You know, the No Man's style game that came out before that game, and get this, was a hell of a lot worse. Look, if you want a good game like these two, just go and get Factorio, and slowly wave your social life goodbye. Anyway, enough about what's good. If you're watching this, you've made the educated decision to spend your gaming free time watching a YouTube video about a game that at one point was officially the third worst rated game on Steam. No joke. Yep, Starforge is that bad. But hey, at least you can now download it for free. So, put down your poo stick looking organic toothbrush and breathe a sigh of relief as we look at Starforge, probably the worst rated video game to come from a crowdfunding campaign ever made. Yes, Deep Silver, you can sit this one out. When researching these crazy crowdfunding campaigns, the first place I always look is obviously the crowdfunding page itself. Now, just a word of warning, William Swarin, owner of the video game company Codehatch, and to be fair, any crappy campaign owners out there, when you delete your pledge video from your page in an attempt to cover it all up, all that does is get me more excited to dig a little deeper in your cesspool of a money earner. So, let's go searching. This video will do. Now looking at the game, you can see that it is yet again another one of those Minecraft clones that was all the rage, and to be fair, still is pretty bloody popular. Heck, we even ripped off the lid to the Yog Ventures can of worms previously on this very channel. Making a game like this is an absolutely huge undertaking for any game company, no matter what your size, and as we have seen before, they can completely make or break a company depending on how much they promise from the get-go. And as you can guess, Starforge, if you're into this sort of game, looked bloody awesome, promising a hell of a lot, and that was here right in this very video, where the developers themselves even openly said that it's in a very early alpha stage of its development. Fair play, I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. Starforge was a game that in the beginning was being praised by everyone and their mother's dog. It just had so much going for it. In fact, the similarities of this early demo and No Man's Sky's early showcases are quite uncanny. They was promising resource gathering, base building, crafting, endless tunnel mining, endless world building, realistic physics movements, and best of all, single player and multiplayer gaming. And heck, considering this early game footage was what they had already done up to this point, it's no doubt obvious to all why this INDIEGOGO did so bloody well, almost doubling its goal of $75,000, getting $135,453 from 4,970 backers. However, promotion for the game actually started a whole 5 months before this campaign went live, and eager gamers wanting something that played like this, but basically looked like, well, this, ran over to the developer's own forum to gush in its possibilities, and were quickly given admin rights from the devs, which basically grew and grew, recruiting more excited players every single day. Everything just seemed to be working out great. So, basically when this Indiegogo page went up on the 25th of October 2012, it didn't just have a couple of devs ready to start spamming people on social media in an attempt to promote the game. Because of this previous interaction they had already built a small army of fans doing daily let's plays and hitting websites like NeoGAF, Reddit and Twitter, constantly pushing Starforge into the face of everyone that would have been interested at the time. If you ask me, it's crowdfunding marketing done right, and as you would expect, the short 36-day campaign was reaching its funding goal and then some when it came to a close on November the 29th, 2012. Which obviously resulted in those hardcore followers running back to the forums to rejoice in the overwhelming success of this, let's be honest, joint effort by all. And this was when William and the rest of the team at CodeHatch went very quiet. A month later, on December 21st, the first big update was pushed out, and again after this the devs went quiet again, answering practically no questions people had regarding the update in those forums. 3 months later, on March 20th, the game randomly appeared on Steam Early Access. In fact, it was one of the first of 15 or so games to ever be given the Steam Early Access green light. As you no doubt guessed, no information was given to those loyal fans in the forum, or those backers might I add. By this point, the fans of this game started to get very agitated. So, in an attempt to rectify this, the devs hired someone by the name of JUNO to act out as the community manager. Only problem is, the crappy communication between the devs and the fans, regardless of this new middleman, hardly improved at all. In fact, JUNO even goes on record to say with her direct line to the CodeHatch crew, she was only ever able to get 6 brief conversations with the devs in 7 months, no matter how much she tried to convince them that the game was community funded and the community really deserved answers. Anyway, after a whole year of begging for more info, JUNO's contract as that community manager for CodeHatch was going to expire on December 31st, 2013. But all was cool, as she was promised by the team that they will be renewing her job for another year. Well, as you may have guessed, that wasn't the case, as randomly out of the blue, with only 27 minutes left to go on her contract, at 11:33 PM CodeHatch dropped her with no real explanation. As you can see, William and his CodeHatch crew were really very cagey, untrustworthy organisation that were getting their fans more and more wound up rather than excited with every passing day. News quickly spread about what was going on, or at least the lack of what was going on, with those once brilliant active forums full of excited backers and fans of the game quickly turning into a dark, dank place full of very salty individuals. Anyway, a month later, a new community manager was hired and was instantly bashed to hell due to everyone still being pretty upset about JUNO's sudden departure. And then, suddenly out of the blue, the game started getting update after update after update after update after update. And finally 1.0, the final completed version, was announced to be coming very soon. Which it did. So what actually happened here? Why was there years of silence followed by 4 months or so of nothing but constant updates? Well, long-time supporter of the game, one DANJVELKER, was very suspicious of this new community manager, and when investigating and posting his findings on the forum, which were obviously quickly deleted by CodeHatch, but not before some clever so-and-so screen captured the whole thing. You see, it turns out that basically every experienced developer on the game, including some who worked at such companies as BioWare, were fired from the project fairly recently, and sort of in secret. Well, these findings very quickly spread like wildfire on the forums and the Steam community pages by the people that backed the game. And how did that developer respond? By deleting the accounts of anyone that brought it up. Not banning them, deleting them, resulting in years of community posts being 100% wiped from existence. Eventually it all came out. The reason for these random firings was basically because the game was running out of money, and head honchos at CodeHatch saw the end in sight, so instead of not finishing the game properly, just spammed together what they had already done up to this point, releasing a game that is far from finished although they claimed it was. A kick scammer in every sense of the made up word, taking such fantastic platforms as INDIEGOGO as well as plenty of others, and Steam greenlight services and not doing it right, ultimately just giving them a really bad name. In fact, it's reported that less than 30% of Steam's greenlight projects actually meet the expectations put forward by the developers. Well, early in 2017, CodeHatch decided to take the game off Steam and move the game as a free DRM download on their website for anybody that cared to play it. Which is sort of good, I suppose, for us curious gamers out there. But let's not forget that INDIEGOGO campaign. An absolute slap in the face to all those poor sods that backed the game in the first place. Which, by the way, still can be found in the comment section asking for a bloody copy of the game that they paid a pretty decent amount of money to help make. Can someone please go over there and tell those unfortunate buggers what actually is going on and where they can find this piece of crap? So, that's the end, right? Well, no, far from it. Backers of Starforge, it's time to place your face here as the face slapping is far from over. William Swarrin, the ultimate kick scammer douchebag, actually went ahead and started another game called Reign of Kings. And here it is on Steam for £14.99. Well, as you no doubt guess, this piece of trollop actually uses a crazy amount of the assets from Starforge, and although as of the making of this video it is still available to buy, CodeHatch have yet again done a runner. Yes, it's finished, but not really. The comment section is full of people talking about the awesome potential this game had, but ultimately kicking off with devs who yet again run away and claim that this unfinished dog turd mess of a game can actually be classified as finished. Looking at it now, it's hard to work out if this whole thing was an actual scam or just developers being bloody stupid, running away from their problems and starting all over again. Regardless, if you ever see this scammy logo at the start of a future trailer, I highly suggest you do not give them any of your hard-earned money. And for all those butthurt PlayStation 4 fans looking at your game shelf at that game that's collecting dust quicker than your Ouya controller, hey, at least you didn't put any money towards this too, right? Right? Oh, bloody hell, there's no helping you guys. I'm going back to play Factorio. Hey there guys, if you're watching this on My Slopes Game Room channel or Larry Bundy Jr.'s channel, I just want to say a big thanks for checking out the videos, with a special shout out going to Matthew Ritter, Ryan Burford, Ian A. Chapman, Phil Lowlins, Antoine, Downright Superb, James Loveridge, Casey Garner, Blitz Hedgie, Ben Hall, Taylor Ullman, Team Not Crash and Tiago Piera dos Santos Silva. If you want to check out my Patreon, see exclusive videos before they're made public, see behind the scenes videos and be part of my monthly Q&A, then be sure to click the link that you see on the screen. Don't forget to subscribe to both channels and check out other videos by clicking the links on the screen. But for now, this is DJ Slope signing out, and hopefully I'll see you all next time.